Hi there, Sarah from Offline Valentine, and in this video I'm going to be talking about preparation and mindset, which are two very important aspects of achieving success at the Offline Valentine event. So for the past few years when I've been hosting this event, I always ask for feedback afterwards, and this video is based on the feedback from other people and what I've seen work at events in the past so that you can have the best chance of success in the whole experience. So preparation is the first one. So in terms of preparation, it's important that you read the 36 questions and contemplate how you're going to answer each one. So by reading through the questions and considering your answers, when you actually play the sharing game on the night of the Offline Valentine event, you're already going to have some idea of what you're going to say, and that will make you feel more confident and comfortable. And also you won't have any questions take you by surprise. So in the 36 questions, there are some themes that might trigger past traumatic moments in people's lives, and that could make you uncomfortable or make you resist being vulnerable. And so if you're prepared for that and you've got an idea of how you would answer that question in a way that you're still comfortable but you're still sharing, then you're going to enjoy the 36 questions a lot more when you're sharing your answers with your match, with your partner on the night. So that's number one. So preparation, reading the 36 questions, and contemplating how you will answer the questions on the night. In the past, when people haven't read the 36 questions or knew how the actual game was played, quite often their partner or their match would give me feedback, and they would say, oh, I didn't really enjoy the game with the person you matched me with because they didn't want to share their stories or their honest, authentic responses. They just agreed with my responses, which is kind of boring. So don't give one-word answers, give a bit of detail, make the other person curious to learn more about you when you're going through the 36 questions. There is also another video which I'll put above or below this video with the link, and you can watch that. It goes for maybe about 20 minutes, and it tells you in detail how the actual social experiment part works, where you're sitting down with someone for 1 hour during the Offline Valentine event, and you're asking each other the questions and you're sharing your answers. So have a look for that video if you feel that you want to understand the process more so that you feel more confident and prepared going into the event. So that's preparation in terms of the 36 questions. Also, I want you to prepare yourself for what you might do if you do find someone that you connect well with on the night. So I supply some cards like this, which you'll be able to find scattered around on the tables. I also supply some pens, so you can jot down your contact details on these cards, and you can hand out this contact card to people that you meet. So maybe as soon as you arrive at the event, you can grab a couple of these, write your contact details on them and keep them in your pocket, or keep them close by, so that when you do talk to maybe someone who you think would be a good friend that you can catch up with, on future occasions, or maybe someone that you've actually got a romantic interest in, or maybe someone that you can do business with. Whatever the reason, the event is all about connecting. So hand out your contact details on the night. You can also bring your own contact cards or business cards. That's perfectly fine. The only rule is that you can give your contact details to other people at the event, but you're not allowed to ask people for their contact details. So it's all about giving and not asking. So the reason that this rule exists is because in the past, we've had some people at events who maybe just weren't prepared to hand out their contact details, and they were asked consistently by their match or someone at the event, and that made them really uncomfortable, to the point that they didn't really enjoy the event and they didn't enjoy spending time with that person anymore. So So that everyone feels more comfortable and that we're all on the same page, the rule is to give your contact details, not to ask someone for their contact details. And if you miss the opportunity to hand out your contact details during an event, mind you, you can also ask the host to help you hand out your contact details if you want on the night before the person leaves. So if you missed the opportunity, maybe you got stuck talking to someone else, or maybe you just didn't feel confident enough to hand out your contact details, then you can fill out the feedback and reflections form after the event, and in that form you can say, oh yes, I would love you to hand out my contact or forward my contact details on to this person. Please send them my email or my phone number. Now that forwarding service does cost $15. So that is a deterrent so that you actually hand out your contact details on the night. So the reason why we use cards, and I encourage people to do it old school, is because it's a phone-free event, which means that everyone is present and being mindful and respecting that the other people have made the effort to come out and enjoy face-to-face conversations. So it's an offline event, so we keep our phones out of sight, on silent. Of course, if you need to take an emergency call, then just excuse yourself from the group and duck out, and you can make that call. So yes, that's the second part about being prepared, is knowing that you're going to meet some people that you want to keep in contact with. So be prepared to write your contact details out and just practice handing it to people maybe that, it's not going to feel intimidating to you. And then when you do meet someone that you're hopeful that they'll stay in contact with you, then you'll feel more practiced about doing that, about handing out your contact details. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about, or the second important thing I wanted to talk about, is mindset, and how mindset can really change your whole experience of Offline Valentine. So if you go into the event or into the experience and your only definition of success is finding a partner, then you're going to miss a whole range of growth, of personal development, aspects of the Offline Valentine event. So there are so many different ways that you can succeed in the Offline Valentine experience. For some people, merely booking a ticket and putting themselves out of their comfort zone and investing in themselves and in their love life and in their connections is a big success step for them. For other people, spending 3 hours without looking at their mobile phone is also a way that they feel success. For other people, it might be stepping out of their comfort zone and making some new friends. And that might be their measure of success. I know for a lot of people, of course, the event is all about, meeting other singles and connecting with them. So, of course, finding someone that sparks your interest is also going to be a sign of success. And also, handing out your contact details to people is going to be a sign of success. Doing the 36 questions and feeling connected with the person is also going to be a sign of success. Now, I've heard 2 stories in the last week of people who have been to my events in the past. So there was one guy I spoke to yesterday, and he said he went to one of my very first events in 2019. And he said that he enjoyed the event. He thought it was a great experience. The person he was matched with, he found that maybe when they were going through the 36 questions, that she was still kind of looking around the room, trying to check out the other guys, and she wasn't maybe necessarily present when they were going through the 36 questions. And then after 15-20 minutes, she actually said to him, actually, you're a really nice guy. But ultimately they didn't find a romantic spark. And then in the last hour of the Offline Valentine event, he went and approached someone else, someone whose name I had written on his card to go and say hello to. And he hit it off with that person, and then they dated thereafter. So you might not hit it off with the person that I pair you up with, but the last hour seems to be a very good hour for going and meeting other people that you might not have had a chance to talk to in the first mingling portion of the evening, and you might not have been paired with for the 36 questions. But in that last hour, you're feeling more relaxed, more comfortable, you're enjoying conversations, and it's a really good time to hand out your contact details to people that you want to connect with after the event. The second story I heard was one lady who went to the event February 2020, and she had been paired up with someone who actually was in isolation, and so they did their 36 questions through Zoom in a separate room. And then in that last hour, the girl who actually attended the event was mingling, and she met a guy. And they gave each other their contact details, and then they spoke on the phone and they went through the 36 questions, and it took them like 3 or 4 hours, and she said she felt so connected with him, and so they continued dating after the Offline Valentine event. So there's lots of different success stories that come from the Offline Valentine event, and if you go in with an open mind, if you think, okay, there's so many different ways that I can enjoy this experience. I can play the game, the lock and key game, and maybe my goal is to try to approach at least 3 or 4 new people that I haven't spoken to before. Or maybe your goal might be to hand out your contact details to at least one person that sparks your interest. So set yourself like little goals to make the event seem less intimidating for you. The other thing when I talk about mindset is quite often people are very narrow-minded with what they're expecting or the type of person they're expecting to meet at the event. And I'm not a magician. The whole room is not going to be filled with supermodels. These are professionals who come in all different shapes and sizes and backgrounds, and they have their own life story to share, and they've got their own values and interests and life goals. And it's very interesting to go and talk to people and to be curious about who they are. So if you go in with an open mind about learning about other people, you're going to thoroughly enjoy the night. If you go into the event in the opposite way, with a closed mind, thinking I only want to talk to someone that I'm physically attracted to instantly, then chances are you're not going to get the full range of benefits from the event. You'll feel disappointed that you didn't find someone perhaps that you had this amazing sexual chemistry with, and you might even write off the event. So that happens in maybe the one out of the whole bunch of people that attend the event. And so I just wanted to give you the heads up that if you go in with an open mind, you're going to enjoy the event, you're going to feel success. If you go in with a very narrow idea of who you want to meet, and if that person's not there, then you will feel disappointed. So try to have an open mind when you go to Offline Valentine. Some people go to Offline Valentine and they have a light bulb moment that they've been looking for this certain type of person the whole time, but when they mingle and they get to talk to other people, they realize there's a lot of amazing people out there that maybe I haven't considered because they were 2 or 3 years older than my preferred age range of people to date, or maybe they had a bigger belly than I prefer in a partner, or maybe they're slightly shorter than someone who I would prefer to date. So be open-minded, go to the event and get to know people for who they are, not what they are. So hopefully that makes sense. So that is preparation and mindset are the two most important things that I want you to be aware of, which can make or break the event for you and for the other people. So if you go to the event and you're not prepared, or if you go to the event and you're closed-minded, other people will pick up on that, and they won't enjoy sharing the time with you as much as they could if you were prepared and open-minded. So I'm actually late to go and visit my friend now, so I'm going to finish this video. I hope that it helps you to enjoy the event and to achieve multiple levels of success on the night. I'll see you soon. Cheers.